YouTube, what is going on? Tanner Phifer here with PhiferFootball. I just want to say thank you to everyone who has subscribed to my YouTube over the last few days. I've been going really hard on Instagram and Twitter covering free agency, and I've gained a lot of subscribers, probably around like 30 or like 25 to 30, so thank you so much for that. Hopefully you guys are tuning into this video now, but in this video we're going over days 2 and 3, I believe, of free agency, and so far what has happened today, which is day 4, Thursday. So give me a moment to scroll through my Instagram feed. That's what I'm gonna go through. It may take a second because there's been a lot of transactions, okay? It's gonna be a longer video, but I just want you guys to stay up to date on everything. Let's see. We're going to start with the Jets signing safety Jordan Whitehead, previously a Buccaneer. So big signing for the Jets. Whitehead has been a staple for that for the Buccaneers team. The Colts re-signed linebacker Zaire Franklin on a 3-year, $12 million contract. The Chargers retained offensive tackle Storm Norton, Jalen Guyton, and tight end Darnell Parham. The Patriots traded Shaq Mason to the Buccaneers for a 5th-round pick, I believe. The Chargers released offensive tackle Brian Bulaga. The Texans signed defensive back Desmond King to a 2-year, $7 million contract. What a steal for the Texans, keeping him around. The Giants signed quarterback Tyrod Taylor to a 2-year, $17 million contract. Good deal for Tyrod. I'm going to go in there and give some competition to that quarterback room. The Panthers signed running back Dante Foreman. So good depth for them at the running back position because Christian McCaffrey is having trouble staying healthy. The Buccaneers signed wide receiver Russell Gage to a 3-year, $30 million contract deal. They also signed Chris Godwin to a 3-year extension for, I think, $60 million. $60 million. So big for them. They're getting a lot of depth at the wide receiver position. Saints players have actively been recruiting Deshaun Watson to the Saints. I'll get more into that in a minute because there's a lot going on there. Browns quarterback Baker Mayfield, his preferred trade destination if he is going to be traded is the Colts, per Tony Pauline of Pro Football Network. The Saints and cornerback Bradley Roby agreed to a multi-year contract extension, about 2 years, I believe. And then there's a big statement released by Baker Mayfield about the whole Deshaun Watson news, with the Browns meeting with Deshaun Watson and just like everything going on with that. He released a statement basically saying goodbye. It sounded like a goodbye, just thanking Cleveland for everything they've done. The Saints are signing safety Marcus May to a 3-year, $28.5 million contract. $15 million of that is guaranteed. That's a really good contract for him. It's hard to imagine the Jets couldn't match that, at least, to keep Marcus May one of the best defensive backs in the league. The Browns are signing wide receiver Jakeem Grant to a 3-year, $13.8 million deal. So Grant is going to be probably a punt return guy and depth at the wide receiver position. The Patriots signed defensive back / cornerback Terrence Mitchell to a 1-year, $3 million deal. He is 29 years old. The Buccaneers are also re-signing Brashad Perryman to a 1-year deal. So they're just keeping a lot of depth at that wide receiver position. They're not going anywhere. The Browns are releasing Austin Hooper, tight end Austin Hooper. Now, if you remember, the Browns placed the franchise tag on tight end David Njoku. So looks like they're wanting Njoku to be their franchise tight end. But at the same time, Njoku's so much better than the usage he gets in Cleveland. I believe he deserves more. He deserves more than the Browns. The Raiders are releasing Carl Nassib, I'm not sure how to pronounce the last name. That'll save them $8 million in cap space for 2022. Here's a big one. The Washington Commanders have released defensive tackle Matt Ioannidis, if I'm pronouncing that correctly. He's just been a staple on that defensive line in the pass rush. I don't believe his last 2 years have been as productive as his first couple years in the league. So that may be why they're releasing him, but he's going to be great depth for someone else. just a great addition all around for another team because I believe he's only 28, 29 years old. Here's a big one. Chandler Jones has signed a 3-year deal with the Las Vegas Raiders. Huge. Oops, something in Photoshop messed up. Big deal for the Raiders and their pass rush because they have Max Crosby, who I believe was just signed to an extension, and now Chandler Jones for the next 3 years. But obviously, I don't think Chandler Jones is seeking a Super Bowl because I just don't see the Raiders bringing that to him. But it looks like the ending of his career is going to end in Las Vegas. I don't know. It's just kind of But they did sign Chandler Jones, but they're also trading away Yannick Ngakoue to the Colts for cornerback Rock Ya-Sin. Rock Ya-Sin has been a pretty good defensive back, and he's only 25 years old. So pretty good trade there. It's player for player. The Titans are releasing wide receiver Julio Jones. I think this clears up to $10 million in cap space. They only take like $2 million in dead money there. So Julio Jones is going to be one of those top free agent wide receivers. If the dude can stay healthy, the upside is so there for any team needing like a wide receiver too. At this point in Julio Jones' career, I don't think he's going to be a wide receiver 1 on a team. But if someone needs a wide receiver 2, Packers. If you need a true wide receiver 2 to help take some coverage off, like, oh man, Julio Jones' upside is here, but his health has been here. So like, you got to keep him healthy. It's just a hard thing. I would sign him to a very low risk, high reward contract if he was able to accept it. If I was the Packers, I wouldn't just count on him. I would definitely get more depth at wide receiver because I wouldn't count on him to stay healthy. The Bears release linebacker Danny Trevathan, one of those big staples on that defense for many years. Trevathan is going to be a big free agent. I'd expect him to get signed soon. Cardinals are releasing defensive tackle Jordan Phillips. He signed a 3-year deal in 2020. I think since 2020 he's only appeared in, I forget how many games he's appeared in. But he hasn't really been what the Cardinals needed, so they're releasing him. Here's a big one. Zadarius Smith returning to the Baltimore Ravens on a 4-year, $35 million deal, which maxes out at $50 million. That's a big deal for the Ravens. He's returning back to the team that drafted him in 2015, so big there. And I'm sorry if my audio is clipping. I didn't check my audio levels, so please forgive me if the audio is really bad in this video. Falcons hosting workout for Jarvis Landry, and right now the Falcons are one of the 2 teams remaining to land Deshaun Watson, so it's just going to be, that's going to be exciting. Dolphins are signing fullback Alec Ingold to a 2-year deal worth up to $7.5 million. They're trying to do what the 49ers are doing because Josh McDaniel was part of that 49ers offense, so it makes sense. Miles Jack was released by the Jaguars, and then I think the very next day he was signed by the Steelers on a 2-year, $16 million contract, only 26 years old, one of the best guys on a defense you could ask for. Excuse me. The Bills are signing Von Miller. Von Miller, a 32-year-old guy, going on age 33, I think in 9 days. 6-year contract worth $120 million. 6 years for Von Miller, okay? 6 years. I think there is a team opt-out after the 3rd year, but still, that is freaking huge. He's the first NFL player in history to sign 2 contracts worth at least $100 million. So congratulations to Von Miller. The Bills are going all out. And right after the Bills signed Von Miller, they signed tight end O.J. Howard, who was on the Buccaneers. They signed him to a 1-year deal. So Bills are trying to make a run here. They also still have Dawson Knox, who kind of emerged last year or the year before. Dawson Knox, I really do like him though. The Dolphins are also signing 49ers running back Raheem Mostert to a 1-year deal. If he can stay healthy, he's good. He's very, very good. Packers wide receiver Randall Cobb took a pay cut to remain with the team. He was due $8.5 million, took a pay cut to $3 million salary for 2022. What a team player, obviously wants to remain with Aaron Rodgers. The Giants are signing tight end Ricky Seals-Jones. I think it's a 1-year contract for him. The Buccaneers, I talked about this already. The Buccaneers signed Chris Godwin to a 3-year, $60 million contract. Gets $40 million guaranteed. So he's getting a contract worth at least $20 million a year probably. These wide receivers right now getting $20 million a year is huge, and that's why Devontae Adams is asking for more now. There was rumors. The Packers, Raiders, 49ers, and Patriots expected to show interest in wide receiver Julio Jones. talked about that a bit already. The Saints met with Deshaun Watson a second time late last night after he had a meeting with the Falcons. So after a meeting with the Falcons, the Saints met with him again. They are determined, and they are very much pushing for Deshaun Watson. They also cleared up and restructured contracts of Demario Davis, Roby, several other guys as well. They are now currently, I think they have $29 million available in cap space. So they could basically take on Deshaun Watson's full $156 million contract, I believe. Browns and Baker Mayfield, okay? That's a whole drama situation by itself. But the Browns have been informed by, I guess, the Texans or Deshaun Watson himself or his representatives, they are no longer in the race, okay? The Browns are not getting Deshaun Watson. That is official. That is official. But now they were kind of screwed with Baker Mayfield after he released that statement. They made it very clear that they are wanting to move on from Baker Mayfield, or at least they don't have trust in Baker Mayfield. So Baker Mayfield is expected to approach them requesting a trade, or they're going to release him or just trade him. I don't know. But the Colts are a top option. He's even reiterated that he wants the Colts. So look at the Colts trading for Baker Mayfield. That could very much likely happen. Either way, Baker Mayfield is an upgrade, I feel like, over Carson Wentz, especially on the Colts with a better O-line, better team, better system. I really like that. I don't think he'll be an elite quarterback there, but he could bring them to the playoffs for sure. Just this morning, 42 minutes ago, we are catching up here. The Steelers released linebacker Joe Schobert, clearing $7.8 million. This was bound to happen because they signed linebacker Miles Jack. And just now, a few minutes right before I started recording this video, the Bills are releasing wide receiver Cole Beasley. He was granted permission to seek a trade, but now Cole Beasley has been released because I guess they didn't find a trade partner. I believe Cole Beasley is 32 or 33 years old, so he's kind of up there in age. He's a good slot receiver, but I don't know. I know he's going to get signed, but I don't know who's going to have interest in him. Definitely not the Packers. Obviously, you guys know I'm a Packers fan. They have Rodgers that they drafted last year. They also have Randall Cobb coming back, so we'll have to see on that. But guys, I think I'm all caught up on the news. There's a lot of other transactions as well, a lot of stuff I covered on Twitter, but really the main thing right now is the Deshaun Watson watch and where he's going to land. Right now, it's looking like the Saints. It's between the Saints and Falcons. But I want you guys to drop your thoughts on that down below. If you stuck through this whole video, I want to just say thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you so much for listening to me ramble. Please go ahead and hit subscribe. I'm trying to stick to my YouTube schedule every day, Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday at noon. So thank you guys so much. See you in the next one.